The sun was setting over the hills of Galilee. Thousands of people surrounded Jesus. Just days earlier, he had miraculously fed more than 5,000 people with only a few loaves of bread and fish. The crowd was amazed. Many whispered among themselves, "Surely this is the prophet God promised. Maybe he will become our king. If we stay with him, we'll never be hungry again." The next day, the crowd found Jesus teaching in a synagogue. Jesus looked at them and said, "You are looking for me not because you understood the miracles, but because you ate the bread and were filled." The crowd grew silent. "Do not work for food that spoils, but for the food that gives eternal life." People nodded at first, but then Jesus said something they did not expect. "I am the bread of life. Whoever comes to me shall never hunger." Murmurs spread through the room. What does he mean? Isn't this Jesus, the carpenter's son? Then Jesus spoke even more boldly. "Unless you eat the flesh of the Son of Man and drink his blood, you have no life in you." The crowd gasped. "This teaching is too hard. This sounds impossible. I didn't come here to hear this." One by one, people began leaving. The same people who had cheered for him after the miracle now shook their heads and walked away. A group of disciples gathered near the door. "We followed him because we thought he would overthrow Rome. I wanted a king, not a teacher speaking mysteries." Without another word, they turned and left. Jesus watched them go. Hundreds became dozens. Dozens became only a few. The room that had been crowded was now nearly empty. Then Jesus turned toward his 12 closest disciples. The silence was heavy. "Do you want to leave too?" The disciples looked at one another. Fear filled their hearts. Confusion filled their minds. They did not fully understand his words either. For a moment, nobody spoke. Then Peter stepped forward. His voice trembled, but his faith was stronger than his doubts. "Lord, to whom shall we go?" The room became still. "You have the words of eternal life." Jesus smiled. Many had followed him for bread. Many had followed him for miracles. Many had followed him because they hoped for power and riches. But only a few remained because they believed he was the Son of God. The crowd wanted a king who could feed their stomachs. Jesus came to save their souls. And when his message became difficult, many walked away. Yet the few who stayed would change the world forever. Because true disciples follow Jesus not only when his words are easy, but also when the truth costs everything.